Just everybody working so hard this month, man. What an amazing close. Right now, if you're just joining us, real quick in the chat box, let us know where you're calling from. Perfect time right now to let everybody know about tonight's call. Remind everybody. I know a lot of people are still closing up, running for ranks and wrapping up volume. But we got Houston dialed in. We got Namdu on. We got North Carolina, and I can't believe we got Evansville, Indiana. That Rose, you're getting me fired up. I can't believe you live in Vanderbilt County, where I was born and raised. Tara from Irvine, welcome to the call. Chicago, Fongli. You already know Fong's ready to go. Oh, we got Colleen from Hawaii. Aloha, sister. Chicago Nancy fan, congratulations, making it happen. Welcome to the call. Denny, too, my man from Venice. This guy's just bragging now. Now you're just bragging you're in Venice, Italy. We got Edmonton. Welcome to the call. We've got Las Vegas. Welcome to the call. Renee from Toronto. Welcome to the call. Wisconsin. Welcome. West Side. Oh, she's the West Side of. Oh man, my family went to Central High. I didn't make it to high school there though. But Vegas, we got Mexico City. My man Sal's on fire, dude. Man, I heard that Jose Luis has been paying for your gas to travel around Mexico. And in your electric car. Ontario, welcome. Philippines, man, you're gonna love this training today. Wisconsin, Alabama, Nevada, Chula Vista, Alberta, San Jose. Welcome, everybody. I'm gonna hit record real quickly. This is gonna be one. Actually, I'm gonna hit record when I get to the training portion because the announcements are gonna be changing obviously as we close out the month. Let me just skip through this right now. Perfect time though to make sure you get everybody dialed in. Remind everybody that if you have anybody that's not on the call, remind them to get on. Right now, before we get underway with the training, just a couple announcements. 10 active customer requirement. Everybody knows it's happening. So if you're a manager hire, get your customers in. No brainer. Obviously, pick up your extra Remon dollar rewards. This is extended until obviously through February 28th tonight. Auto ship reminder. Anybody that's on auto ship gets their $30 credit. Make sure you're on auto ship. Everybody knows about the momentum bonus. If you're a team leader right now, obviously you are running and gunning for these. Some of you guys got those. Some of you guys came close. And no matter what, it's the striving that makes us better. So congratulations, everybody that won that. We got the starter kits. These are going to be ending tonight at midnight. So a lot of people are upgrading right now. Perfect time to get everybody upgraded tonight, obviously, before these come to an end. Obviously, for anybody that's signed up in the last 30 days. These are the Canadian ones. Super excited about that. This is amazing. This thing sold out. The hair care sold out already. Good job, everybody. We went through that pretty fast. And then the reset bundle, I think, is still available right there. That thing's crazy. Dollar for dollar BP. Never been done before in the world. We had $160 of the product for $91. That refresh. I love that product mix too as well. That's an amazing one with that dollar for dollar BP on that. That's wild. And then we've got obviously the new videos that are out for the experience kits. Make sure you get your hands on those. I posted those in the Team 1% page as well. We got the convention around the corner. This one's going to be an amazing thing. We've got a couple brand new directors that got promoted this month. A couple of people that came close, and I know are going to be wrapping it up before convention. That are knocking on that door, wrapping it up. We're going to get it done. The agenda Friday, we know what's going on, and then obviously Saturday. After Saturday's event, mark your calendars. We're going to be doing a party at our suite. We got a big suite for a big party. That's going to be next level. We got to get you on the guest list for that. So. All your directors are going to be putting together a guest list of who's going to be there for that party afterwards, Saturday night after party at our pit house. It's going to be happening at 7:30, and then Sunday, obviously, that's going to be a big session. It's a powerhouse weekend. I saw the agenda. Whoa, we got some powerful speakers. Virtually, I know that most people are going to be there. A couple people obviously can't be there, but they're going to be on virtual. I'm telling you right now, get to the event. Okay, get to the event, and obviously, team leaders are going to be able to party with us. The gala dinner, that's going to be next level. So make sure you take advantage of that. We got so many daily Zooms going on right now. And I always tell people they're kind of like the Mario Brothers. When a brand new person gets started, it's so important to get them to another exposure, to get them plugged into the system. So our daily Zooms are so awesome. And I love all the leaders that commit to jumping on there. One of the things you want to really learn how to do in our business is obviously become a really amazing promoter, right? Some people are announcers. These announcers, they'll send out mass text messages, rely on their upline to promote stuff. Hope people attend, right? I call it post and pray, right? They tell planners, hey, just watch the recording or whatever. And they have no idea how to create momentum, right? They don't move people. They don't make things happen. Then you got your promoters. Those are the ones that make the what? They make the big money, baby. And they'll call their people up, make sure their people are getting dialed in. They'll send personal voice messages. They'll send out personalized text messages. they create massive amount of excitement around events, right? Make it non-negotiable to attend events. Obviously, there's no objection that a promoter can't overcome, right? And these obviously people make the most money. There's no doubt about that. Couple things are happening this Saturday. Tomorrow, kick March off really, really well. Myself and Robert Nana are going to be doing that one. That one's going to be amazing, man. I'm super excited about that. Then we got the Chinese call at night in Mandarin. That's obviously Saturday for us, Sunday for everybody in China. And it's on VU for the people in China, on Zoom for the people in the U.S., and we bring them together. A lot of you guys are building a great Chinese team. Amazing work for everybody, doing an amazing job. If you haven't heard Robert Nan, you got to, man, this guy's funny, man. I love this guy. He's one of my favorites. Monday, we got Danny Bay, 9 a.m., team leader and above. Then we got the rundown on Monday afternoon. Make sure you get everybody on the rundown. A lot of big announcements going on for this rundown on March 3rd at 5 p.m. Pacific. Okay, the Zoom information's there. No password for that. So just make sure you're aware of that. Obviously, Tuesday, actually Monday night, I'm going to be doing the live events on the 3rd, the 10th, the 24th, and 31st. No event on the 17th. Okay, no event on the 17th. We're still going to be in Vegas. Make sure, obviously, if you've got people in Southern California, get them plugged in. And then Tuesday, we've got obviously Marisol and Cynthia, but we've got Jose Luis going to be blowing it up, man. If you've never heard this guy before present, wait till he presents for your team. If you're building in the Latino community and the Spanish-speaking community, Jose Luis is a powerhouse. Everybody knows that. Everybody loves this guy. Orientation on Tuesday night, obviously the English one. Wednesday, we've got obviously Tracy Zimmer, and we got two directors, right? Christy Belliston, brand new director, first month this month. And then we got Tracy Zimmer. They're going to be rocking the house on Wednesday. Make sure you take advantage of that. Obviously, we all know the Product University's gone. So that last week was the last week. Make sure you get all your guests on for that Wednesday. Thursday, we got the Remon Reveal, which is going to be another opportunity presentation. Then Friday, I'm going to be training on the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That's this book right here you guys can all see. I'm just going to be touching on the laws because I've got obviously to be able to condense that training. I could, that could be a 4-week training, but I'm going to do it in one week and just sizzle everybody quick, rapid fire on those laws. It's going to be great. I really enjoy training people on the Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Pay period deadline's happening tonight. We all know that. Last time to be able to sneak in all the volume, get your rank advancements. Everybody's running and gunning for that. So let's get into the 8 steps to the 8 secrets to leadership development. Let me record this.
Recording in progress.
All right. Tonight, we're going to be starting right now with the eight secrets of leadership development. And man, this training gets me fired up. I mean, literally right now, you are going to get some nuggets. I would encourage you to get to a place where you can grab a pen, grab a paper, and really soak all this in. And I think it's going to speak to many of your hearts. So I want to just jump into it right now. And the first thing that the first secret to leadership is that leadership is a challenge. Nancy Lincoln, right? She passed away on October 5th of 1818. I wasn't there for that, obviously, but everybody knows that there's a story that goes along with that. Me being from Indiana, we talk about Lincoln all the time there because he was, they have like places where he was and stuff like that, even though he's from Illinois. But they talk about Lincoln all the time growing up where I grew up in the Midwest. And a lot of people know this, but Abraham Lincoln was by his mother's bedside when she died. And he was 9 years old at the time. And his mother passed away on her bed, and he was right there by her bedside. And the last words that Nancy Hanks Lincoln had to her son was, "Be somebody, Abe. Be somebody, Abe." That story speaks to my heart. It's like, man, can you imagine being a 9-year-old boy and that seed being planted in your head? And obviously, evidently, he took it to heart. Abraham Lincoln took it to heart. But it wasn't easy. I think a lot of times people look at his accomplishments and see these big statues in Washington of him, and they're, oh my God, he's on the $5 bill. Man, Lincoln's the hero. It was an easy life for him. That guy is far from. And I'm going to share with you a little bit about some of the challenges he went to. But all the challenges that Abraham went through, he went through all these challenges. But I think in the back of his mind, those last words by his mother when she was passing away, and her last words were, "Be somebody, Abe. Be somebody." And I think when he was going through challenges, when he was going through obstacles, I think his bridge over troubled waters is that seed his mom planted. And every time he got knocked down, he got back up. And I'm going to share with you some of the failures that he went through, but he got through it. And when you look at Abraham Lincoln's life, it wasn't a life of ease because he had to work to support his family after they were forced out of their home in 1816. His mother passed away in 1818. He failed in business in 1831. He was defeated for legislature in 1832. The same year, in 1832, he lost his job and couldn't get into law school. He declared bankruptcy and spent the next 17 years of his life paying off money that he had borrowed from friends to start a business in 1833. He was defeated for legislature in 1834. He was engaged to be married, but his sweetheart died, and he was heartbroken in 1835. He had a nervous breakdown and spent the next 6 months in his bed. What do you think got him out of his bed? What do you think it was? You think it was, as a boy, hearing his mom say, be somebody, Abe, to be somebody? He was defeated for becoming the Speaker of State Legislature in 1838. He was defeated for becoming the elector in 1840. He was defeated for Congress in 46. He was defeated for Congress again in 48. He was rejected as a job land officer from his home state in 1849. He was defeated for Senate in 54. He was defeated for vice president, got less than 100 votes, 100 people. Abraham Lincoln, 1856, was defeated for Senate again for the third time in 1858. And finally, in 1860, was elected the president of the United States and arguably probably had the most significant impact on our country. But I think what shaped him were all those challenges. I think it was Booker T. Washington who said, success is not measured by heights obtained, but obstacles that are overcome. It's the challenges that you overcome to become great. And that's what leadership is. Leadership is a challenge. So the first secret is leadership is that leadership is a challenge. And what you have to be able to do is you got to get congruent. See, when you're incongruent is when you believe something and your desire and your self-esteem are in three different places. If you desire to have something become a reality, and maybe you don't believe that you can do it, and maybe your self-esteem, you don't believe in yourself. So what you got to start doing is you got to start getting a little bit more congruent, right? You got to start getting your desires and your belief and your self-esteem in line. If you want to become a leader and step up to the challenge, and then what happens is at some point you become completely congruent when your desire and your belief and your self-esteem all line up. Self-esteem is an interesting one, right? I think, I like to teach it to kids whenever I teach my football team is esteem is like something that you hold in high esteem, something that is precious to you, like a kid's cell phone or something like that. Kids relate with that, something that they hold in high esteem. You've got to feel like that about yourself. You got to believe that you can make it happen, but you got to have your desire, your belief, and your self-esteem all in alignment. That's when you become attractive. That's when you become congruent. That's whenever you unlock your leadership. So I love what John C. Maxwell talks about in his book, but he says the higher you want to climb, the more you need leadership. Because if you look at these two charts right here, the one on the left is success without leadership. And you might be, your dedication might be through the roof, right? You might be, man, Tim, I'm the most dedicated person in Remon. But your effectiveness is low because your leadership level is low. But see, if you can raise your level of leadership, and you can keep that dedication, now your effectiveness becomes that much bigger, that much greater. So I can promise you that leadership development by far is the most important thing that you'll learn in your journey at Remon. And it's going to help you in all areas and all facets of your life. So when I taught this to the kids on Tuesday at football practice, I said, when you're green, I go, there's green apples, there's red apples, and there's rotten apples. I said, when you're green, you're growing. That's whenever you're trying to get better. You're pushing yourself to the limit. You're getting on these calls. You're taking notes. You're applying what you learn. You're going back over your notes. You're studying. You're growing. You're developing. You're developing your skill set. You're growing. And then you get to that point where you've arrived. And that's when you stop growing. And as soon as you stop growing, next step, guess what? You're going to rot. So I love what Ray Kroc said. He said, as long as you're green, you're growing. As soon as you're ripe, you rot. And I was telling that to my football team, and it's no different in leadership. You've got to stay in that constant stage of never-ending improvement, right? I think the Japanese have a word for it called Kaizen. And I might be saying that wrong, and I might be actually incorrect, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Kaizen, which means constant, never-ending improvement. You've got to always be getting better. Your best days are way in front of you. And it's about growing you and developing you in every step of the imagination. So let's talk about geese, man. I'm fired up about geese. I know a lot of you are like, man, Tim, I heard about there's going to be some geese. Talk about some geese tonight, because I'm going to share with you some lessons from geese. Because I think a lot of times whenever, you see geese flying by, you're like, what are these guys up to? And I think if you analyze geese, you can learn a lot from geese, because geese fly together because they share a common goal and direction. Geese fly together because they share a common goal and direction. See, geese, they fly in that perfect V formation, because studies have shown that flying in that way and using that kind of teamwork adds 71% more flying range for the geese than if they flew on their own. This is because each bird flaps its wings and creates an uplift that reduces air friction for the birds to follow. What can we learn from that? To be a great leader, you got to be a great student, right? You got to be a great student. Follow the system. My mentor told me, he said this system is save yourself time, energy, and money, right? A system is a duplicatable process that produces a profit. If you want to go far, you've got to go together. That's the magic. That's the magic. So I think we can learn a lot from geese. Let's see if we can't learn anything else from these guys. Here's another one that's kind of interesting, right? As we analyze geese. Geese stay in formation, right? Whenever a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of trying to fly on its own, and quickly tries to get back into formation. The formation not only makes it easier for the birds to fly, but it also increases the flock's overall visibility as well. And that's where for their power to be seen. Because see, the bigger the flock, the more geese that they can attract to that flock, and the bigger that flock becomes, the easier it becomes for everybody. Look at that. What are geese up to? So the lesson you learn from that is ego versus paycheck, right? Is what are you looking for, right? It takes teamwork to make the dream work, right? It's the we is bigger than the me, right? It's all about the we. It's not about the me. It's about that name on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back of the jersey. It's about working together as a team. And that's why I love geese. I'm a big fan of geese. I used to hate them because they used to come by our football field and poop on it, and I didn't like them. But guess what? Now I love them, okay? And the reason is because I'm learning from them. And I love the way that the geese operate, because it's kind of interesting. Geese rotate roles, right? And they encourage other leaders and empower other leaders to lead. And so for a lead goose in a formation, the drag is high. That lead goose that's out there that's making it happen, the drag is high on him. The drag is high on that individual. And when the lead goose in the formation gets tired, it rotates back into the formation, and another goose takes his place. The lead goose then immediately feels the advantage of the lifting power of the birds in front of him because of what he created, right? Because that lead goose, he's making it happen. He's leading by example. He's getting the job done. And then whenever it's his turn to fall in line, that he set the pace and he set the tempo for that organization, and organization is going to keep on going. And I think we got to be doing the same thing. We got to be like geese. So I think what's amazing when you look at geese is the lessons that I take from that is that, you got to set the example for your team. Right now, you're the lead goose of your organization, right? You're the lead goose of your team. And people are going to learn from your example. They're going to emulate what you do. You got to have that give me the ball attitude. You got to have that I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make it happen. I'm ready to step up. And that if you want to be, it's kind of like, are you a charger? Or are you a battery, right? Are you a charger or a battery, right? You want to make sure that you're charging everybody else up. Let's talk a little bit more about that, because I think that's a good one, right? Look at these geese, man. We're learning all this stuff from geese. We could have just been looking out our windows today watching geese fly by, and we could have learned all this. We didn't have to get on the Zoom, okay? Geese are noisy. You ever heard it? They're noisy birds, and they recognize and support each other. See, there's numerous studies that show that honking is to encourage one another. That honking is to get the geese fired up, to get everybody jacked out of their mind. And I think sometimes motivation is important, right? I think motivation is like, it's important, but it's not permanent. I think motivation is not permanent. Neither is bathing. Have you ever noticed that? It's something that you have to do on a consistent basis, right? If you just be like, boom, I already know all that. I'm motivated, Tim. You got to stay constantly getting around the fire so you can stay warm, right? So I think what you learn from geese is you got to give recognition to your team, right? I love what Jim Rohn says. He says, be so busy giving recognition that you don't need it. Be so busy giving recognition that you don't need it, right? Be the best leader. The best leader is always the biggest cheerleader. So the better you are as a cheerleader, the better you are as a leader. Look at everyone as they're holding a sign that says, make me feel special, right? Be the spotlight. Don't need the spotlight. Don't need the spotlight. Be the spotlight. Be the charger, not the battery. Get everybody else excited around you. Okay, honk for your people, man. Honk, honk. Whenever somebody does good, a little honk, honk. You know what I mean? Somebody just got a customer. Honk, honk. Somebody just made a big list. Honk, honk. Somebody just did a pop-up. Got some customers. Got some planners. Honk, honk. We just got to be honking. We got to be honking our butts off. Getting fired up now. You guys got me jacked. Talking about geese. There's more? Oh, yeah, Tim's just getting started about these geese. Here's another one, lessons from the geese. Leave no goose behind. Leave no goose behind. This is huge, man. They stand by their flock in good times and in bad. So when a goose gets sick or wounded, two other geese drop out of formation and they follow it down and help it and protect it. They stay with that goose until it's able to fly again. Then they launch back with another flock, another formation, or they catch up to their flock. But look at what geese are doing. They got each other's back. They don't give up on one another. When a goose recruits another goose, I guarantee he's like, look, man, you get started with me, over, under, through, I'm going to get you there. Like, that geese are serious, man. We got to start signing up some geese. What are we waiting for? I'm going to start building a team of geese. Here's the lesson that I take from that, right? Is don't let people miss the convention. Sometimes people are like, oh, and they come up with an excuse, man. You got to be like, man, I'm not letting you miss it. Because the people that need it the most are the ones that want it the least. I learned this from Dr. Phil. He has a motivational tape that he did back in the days, right? I don't know what you think about it now. I don't know what he's up to, but I knew this motivational tape was really, really good. I got some ideas from it. But one of these things he said is that the people that need it the most want it the least, and the people that need it the least want it the most. So the people that they need it the most, right? The people that need it the most, they want it the least. But the people that need it the least, they want it the most, right? It's the people right now that are on this call. You guys probably don't need this information because you're making it happen. You're on fire. It's the people that are struggling that need to be on this call, but they elect not to. Same thing with the convention. You got to have that. You got to have that attitude. No matter what, I'm going to get you to the convention. I'm not letting you miss it. That's leadership. That's caring about people. That's telling people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Okay. Never, never, never give up on anybody. Never give up on them. Somebody's like, well, you know what? My friend, blah, blah, blah. Never give up on them. The fortunes and the follow-up, man. You care enough to tell people what they need to hear. Just keep on talking to people. Doesn't mean you call them and rip them a new one. You just talk to them. Be the best part of somebody's day, right? So I love that. We're learning that from geese. Now here's sixth one. Okay, this is the last one. Geese maintain priorities, right? They maintain their priorities. They stay committed to the team. You ever notice that about geese? Geese don't give up. Here's something that's wild. The geese migration routes do not vary. They use the same route year after year after year after year. It's always the same route. Geese are always taking the same route. Even when the flock members change, they might get new flock members, but that flock is always, and they learn from the people that are ahead of them there. And that's what leadership to me is all about, right? It's about following the system. It's about being with one another. It's about making sure that you follow the proven plan of action, right? So I love this one, right? What I learned from that, man, is do what you say you're going to do, right? The secret to success is found in your daily agenda. It's doing what you say you're going to do day in and day out, right? You prioritize or you agonize, right? You commitment is contagious. So is lack of commitment, right? Lack of commitment is doing the thing you said you're going to do long after the mood you said it and leaves you. Never miss a convention. Geese would never miss conventions. Have you ever think about that? We got to start getting more geese. Geese are committed. Geese are going to come to the event after. You guys know how many events I missed in the last 30 years? None. 30 years, none. 30 years, none. That's not a bad batting average, okay? 6 lessons from geese, man. I love this. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you really don't, you'll find an excuse. Jim Rohn, hello. You got to find a way to make it happen, right? That's why you got to be at the Remont convention no matter what, right? Got to be like geese, make it happen no matter what, right? So here's the way that we build it, right? Is if this is North America and say this is Vegas right here, we got to get everybody coming in, bam, to the convention. Don't let people miss it. Don't let people miss it. I tell people like this, like when I get somebody started, say, man, if you're not going to be at the event, don't get started in my business. And somebody goes, damn, Tim, that's pretty strong. Well, I'm not looking for people to just join and get started and, maybe make $5, $10. I'm looking for people who want to be leaders. Now, it's not that I'm talking about people that I individually work with. Doesn't mean that I don't love everybody. Somebody wants to make an extra $50 a month to take the kids to Chuck E. Cheese. That's the most important person in my business because I love that person. But what I'm telling you is the people that I lock arms with, people that I work with, I'm non-negotiable, non-debatable. It's like, look, man, you're either with me or, I mean, there's no debating it. It's not even open for discussion, right? It's like my level of commitment is so high, I expect it from others, right? So let me give you another example, right? Let's talk more about this. The event is the mother of the process, okay? So this is leadership secret number 3. The event is the mother of the process, right? Learning from the process. The process is where we become wealthy, okay? There's Pareto's principle that says 20% of your activity is going to give you 80% of your results, and 80% of your effort is going to give you 20% of your results. So what do you think you should focus on? The 20% that gives you 80% of the results, or the 80% that gives you 20% of the results? So you got to understand the difference between goal achieving activities and tension relieving activities. Is what you're doing goal relieving or goal achieving or tension relieving? Are you trying to relieve tension? Are you trying to just, man, I'm going to do this because it's busy work? Or are you doing the stuff that makes you money? For me, I'm all about I do money making activities, man. I'm addicted to it, right? It's like, I need to go get a haircut. Look at me. I'm looking all shabby, but it's like, it's easier for me to sit here all day long and work than it is to go get a haircut. Some of you guys got the best looking hair in the world, right? Make sure you prioritize or you agonize, right? Your daily agenda is going to expose you or promote you. So your daily method of operation, what you do on a consistent basis, your process, right? Your process of building your business will expose you or promote you. You can't keep doing the right thing over and 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 not win. It's not possible. You do the right thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, you're going to win no matter what. But if you do tension relieving activity over and over and over and over and over and over again, you're not going to win. It's a guarantee. Like I could sit down with you, I could hang out with you for one day, and I could follow you around for one day, and I could tell you pretty quickly how much money you're going to make in our industry. And you could come sit with me and watch me. You could go sit downstairs in my living room and watch me work all day. You know what you would say? That guy's going to make it happen no matter what. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm telling you guys, at one point, I didn't know what I was doing, but I found out if you do what you do, you'll get what you get. If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. I like what I get, so I do what I do. You guys see how smart that is? Most people think, oh, when you do what you do, you're going to get what you get. Means if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting, and they don't like what they're getting, so they're going to stop doing what they're doing. For me, it's like, I love what I'm getting, so I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to stop talking so fast because some of you are like, damn, dude, this is not my first language, Tim, kick back. The difference between the 80, 15, and 5. We talk about the 80, 15, and 5. 80% want to make 500 a month. 15 want to make 500 a week. 5% want to make 500 a day. The difference, they all do the same stuff. It's just the activity and the results. The activity and the results. So it's like, what is the 5%? The 5% of the people that want to make an extra 500, 1,000 a day, what do? Do the same thing, the same activity as the 80%. We just do more of it. That's literally, we do the same thing. Like, there's nothing that I'm doing that you can't do. I just do more of what you are doing. I just do it aggressively all the time. So you got to understand, major time is in the presence of prospects. This is the process. I'm trying to teach you the process. Okay. Minor time is everything else. So major time in front of prospects. Minor time is everything else. So what my mentor told me, she said, Tim, major and majors don't major in minors. Spend major time on major thing and minor time on minor things. That's the Pareto principle right there. He just made it seem a little bit easier for me to understand. Let's talk more about this, okay? But let's talk about time management, right? I love what Clint Eastwood said. Clint Eastwood said, respect your efforts. I wish Clint could be on this call tonight. I didn't invite him though. But Clint Eastwood, if he was on this call tonight, guess what Clint would say? Clint would say, hey, respect your efforts, respect yourself. Why? Because self-respect leads to self-discipline. When you have both firmly under your belt, that's real power. So like, give an example. If you're working 40 hours a week at your job and you're sleeping 56 hours a week, and guess what? Let's say you're spending 42 hours with your family, commuting, eating, whatever you're doing. That means you got 30 minutes left. We all got the same 168 hours. So if that's your equation, I don't know what your equation is. I don't know what your daily method of operation is. I don't know what your schedule looks like. But I know what common sense tells me. The common sense is I got 168 hours a week. You got 168 hours a week. Let's not get that twisted, right? So we got the same amount of time. What's the difference? It's what I'm doing with my 30 hours on my dreams. And I'm working the business full time, right? So I'm putting 70 hours in my dreams. But at the beginning, I was working part-time when I got in network marketing because I was busy and broke. And I didn't have a lot of time, but whatever time I had, I got in. And I love getting into trainings because it's all about sharpening the axe because skills makes labor more valuable. right? Skills makes labor more valuable. Meaning if you do 10 presentations with no skills, you might get one person in. If you do 10 presentations with skills, you might get 8 in. What's seriously 8 and 1? Skills. So skills makes the labor more valuable. It's kind of like you can chop down a tree with a spoon, but it's going to take a long time. So in some of your time, in your downtime, you want to be developing your skill set. That's why getting on these calls on Friday nights are so valuable, because you're learning the business, right? You're learning some secrets. So here's what I love to do. I love to think of everything kind of like a really analytical. So if we all have 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week, 52 weeks a year, and 8,736 hours a year, that's pretty safe to say that that's what we all got, okay? If that's what we're all dealing with, and you set a goal. Now, I know everybody's got different goals on here. And I know a majority of you don't want to make $1 million a year in network marketing. You're like, Tim, that is the last thing in the world I want to do is make $1 million a year in network marketing. Okay. So I don't get offended when I say $1 million, because you could break this thing down into 100,000. I don't know what your goals are. But what I'm saying is the way that I look at it is what I'm prescribing right now. So don't think, oh, Tim's trying to get me committed. Don't get committed. I want to share with you what I'm thinking. Okay. Just think what I'm thinking. Okay. It's like, look, I'm making, $1 million a year. Okay. Obviously that means I'm making 114 hours, $114 every hour, whether I'm sleeping or awake. That's $1.90 a minute. So, and now I treat look, when I got started in Remont, I wasn't making 7 figures. Okay. I wasn't making 7 figures when I got started, but I knew this formula. I knew that if I wanted to make $1 million a year, and now I want to make $1 million a month, what I'm telling you is this, is you treat every hour like $114. Treat every minute like $1.90 a minute. Somebody's got, hey, tip, can I borrow 10 minutes of your time? Sure. But that's almost $20, right? So when it helps you respect time a little bit, but you got to respect yourself first, right? You got to know that you can do it. Okay. So you got to run the day, or the day is going to run you, right? When should you start your day? Once you finish it. Don't trust your memory. Plan your day. Okay. And before you go to bed, my schedule is booked throughout. I do a week in advance where it's like every day, bop, 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 bop. And anytime someone's like, Tim, can you get on call? The answer is yes. Here's my time slots. Let's go. I'm nonstop, right? But I overbook myself with MMA, right? And that's not mixed martial arts. That's money making activities, right? So money making activities is what? In the presence of what? We talked about it. In the presence of prospects. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the event versus the process. Okay. This is from John C. Maxwell, and I'm going to be talking about his stuff next week, but I'm not going to be able to get as much into it as I am right now. But the event and the process, they're basically, they're related, right? It's a perfect marriage between the two, because the event inspires decision. The process inspires development. Okay, so once you commit to the process, that's what happens at the convention, right? Everybody at the event is going to commit to the process of changing their life, right? So give an example. The event motivates people. The process matures people. I love that. Okay. Let me show you this one. Guess what? The event is a calendar issue. The process is a culture issue, right? When you create that culture in your organization of growth and development, okay, the event challenges people, right? It challenges, because it's a challenge to get to an event. The event, this is it. Like, we can't, someone's like, Tim, I can't make the event. Well, I can't call the company and switch it around. Tim, I can't make it to the event. Okay, well, let me call Danny and Betty real quickly and see if we can't bring it to your hometown. Where do you live at? Oh, you're in Milwaukee? All right, let me call Danny and Betty and see if we've got time to change the damn event. We got a month left. We'll change it to Milwaukee so you can make it. Are you kidding me? It challenges people, because if you miss the event, you're 6 months behind anybody else, because you got to wait 6 months for the next one. So it challenges people to get there. It's not easy to get there. Somebody says, well, I live in Vegas, Tim, it's easy for me. All right, well, stop with you. You're easy money. Okay. It's easy for you. But for everybody else, it takes a commitment. It takes commitment to get to the event. So it's a challenge, and the right people step up to the challenge. They love challenges, and the process changes people, right? These daily calls, these daily, the Friday trainings that I'm doing, they change and develop people. So you got to get committed. And the event is easy. The process is hard. Why is the process hard? Because it takes time, day in and day out. And it's small steps. Once you commit to the process, it's a little bit of improvement every single day. You don't become great at anything overnight. When you first started to walk, you weren't walking, right? And it took time. So the event is so critical, right? Build your business event to event, right? I tell people like this: you're not even in the event, and you're not even in yet until you've been to a convention. So we have what, March and September? I think it's in September. I don't know. Whatever it is. I know somebody's like, I know exactly when it is. All right, stop. I'm not that smart, okay? Here's what happens. Everybody that we sign up in March, we're getting them to the event. Everybody we sign up in February, we're getting them to the event. Everybody that we sign up in October, end of September, November, December, all those people that just got started, it's all about getting them to the event. Because if you get them to the event, boom, the light bulb's going to go off. If you get them to the event, they're going to see the big picture. Okay, so you're not in until you've been to an event, until you've been to a convention. So what happens is if somebody misses the March event, now really you can get tickets for the event. Somebody's like, oh, it's sold out. I'm not, guys, it's not hard to find tickets. There's tons of people on this call that have extra tickets, okay? And if you have extra tickets, recruit some new people and get them to the event. The people that get started right before the event, the week or two before the event, those people are the ones that, boom, they're the ones that blow up because they're brand new, fresh, they're their first exposure. If you're a leader on the call, let's say you're a team leader or higher, you want to get guests to this event, right? I'm flying in some leaders because I know coming out of this event, I want to have 3 or 4 new lines of business of leaders to be working with. So I'm going to be flying in some prospects to be at the event, okay? Get some prospects out there, okay? I'm not flying them on myself, you know what I mean? Some of them I'm just telling you, get your butt out here, stop being cheap, bro. We're going to become wealthy. Get your butt out here. Like, I'm not playing around. So now we're going to talk about the secret number 4. It's called the law of environment. There's a book that John C. Maxwell wrote that's called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And law number 6 in that book is called the law of environment. And he says it's possible to change without growing. Think about that. You can change without growing, but it's impossible to grow without changing. I love that. When I read that, I was like, John C. Maxwell, you did it again, bro. Listen to what that says. It's possible to change without growing, but it's impossible to grow without changing. So we got to change. We got to develop. We got to be able to get in the right environment. That's what the law of environment is all about. Growth thrives in conductive surroundings, right? It's like you got to have a conductive surrounding, meaning like a conductor is like whenever you look at an extension cord, right? You're taking something, you're plugging it in the wall, electricity is going and powering something up. That cord has got the stuff around it, right? This is like conductive material. You gotta have a conductive environment, a surrounding where where you're in an environment where you can grow, where you can develop. That's why it's so important to get people to the convention, because that environment grows people. But what you do if you want, let me ask you a question. If you want a plant to grow, I want to grow this plant, Tim, what do? How do you grow this plant? Throw it under your bed, bro. Like, no, obviously you don't throw it under your bed, right? Or would you water it, give it sunlight, and keep it potted and well taken care of? That's your people. My mentor said, you only brush the teeth that you want to keep, right? Only bring the people to the convention that you want to keep. He told me, only recruit the friends you want to keep, because when you become wealthy, Tim, your friends aren't going to have anything in common with you. So he said, recruit them into the business and become wealthy with them. Because if you're like, hey, it's Wednesday, let's go to Tahiti, and they're like, oh, I gotta go to work. It affects your relationship. So bring them along so they can become wealthy with you, right? So understand that it's the same with our group. If you get somebody started, they're like a brand new plant, right? You got a plant and you just throw it under your bed, or you throw it on your bookshelf. It's not going to grow. You got to get in an environment where it can grow. You got to water it. You got to nourish it. You got to get it by the sunlight. You got to take care of it. Some of you guys can grow plants, man. Some of you got like that, they got that thumb that doesn't do it. Here's what I'm telling you. We have fake plants. We do fake plants to be safe. But I'm telling you, but growing a plant, I mean, if you got committed to it, you can learn how to do it, right? If you want to experience personal growth, right? If you want to experience personal growth, we must evaluate our environment and make changes that support our goals and growth, right? You got to ask yourself, right? Sometimes you got to start saying, man, you know what? I'm going to get a little bit more committed to growth and development. I'm going to start getting more on these calls on Friday night and get committed to it, because I want to stay around the fire and keep warm and get after it, okay? Let's talk a little bit more about the law of environment, right? When you're a team at convention, you're committed to growing, right? The convention can't be created anywhere else. You can't create a convention. You can't create a convention like we're going to be having that party on what, Saturday after the convention. You already know that thing's going to be off the walls. That thing's going to be next level. You already know the way that we operate. What I'm telling you is what? You can't take a picture and be like, man, you know what I mean? Photoshop your buddies in there, man. Get them to the event. Get them to the convention. All right, you got to get them to the event, right? Stop photoshopping people into get them there so they can enjoy it and experience it. But it takes what? A backbone, right? Not a wishbone. You got to tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. So here's the deal. Here's the big picture. If you want to go team leader, you want to have 10 people at the event. I encourage people to have 10 legs at the event, right? Because you want to have 10 legs at the event, see the opportunity, see the big picture. If you want to become a team leader in the month of March coming out of the event, leverage the event. Somebody goes, well, Tim, that's pretty hard to do. Well, do your best you can. All you can do is what you can do. But I'm telling you right now, obstacles, challenges, those are the things that leaders is, ooh, they love that stuff, right? So make sure if you want to become a director, we all know you want to have 10 legs of team leaders, right? You want to have 10, you only need 3 to be a structurally wise, but you want to have 10 legs of team leaders. So you want to have 10 different legs at the convention so they can see the big picture, so they can see what's happening. You got to be non-negotiable about becoming successful, right? You got to lead if you want people to follow, right? So here's what I'm going to share with you right now. I love this part of it. This is secret number 5. Leadership is a relay race. Leadership is a relay race. First step is what? You got to receive the baton. You got to receive the baton. You got to step up right now. You got to say, man, you know what? The 10 most powerful 2-letter words, right? I love this. The 10 most powerful 2-letter words. If it is to be, it is up to me. 10 words, 2 letters, change your life. If it is to be, it is up to me, right? Receive the baton. Receive the baton. Think about what I'm saying to you. If you're in a race and you're in a relay race and somebody's trying to give you a baton, you're like, no, I don't want it. What are you talking about? Grab that baton and run your butt off, right? The second part of a relay race is what? You got to run your leg. You got to run your leg of the race. You got to run your portion of the race. People can't follow in your footsteps if your feet aren't moving, right? People can't follow in your footsteps if your feet aren't moving. You got to be moving. You got to be moving, man. You got to be taking action every day, right? And you got to what? The step 3 is what? You got to pass the baton. See, success in a relay race is found in the exchange zone. That exchange zone is that area where they pass the baton to one another. How do you pass the baton to somebody? How do you develop the people in your organization? You got to be a good finder, not a fault finder. You got to believe in them. You got to believe that they can make it happen. So you got to be a good finder, not a fault finder. And guess what? Most of us are programmed to be fault finders. Let me give an example of what I'm talking about, right? Honestly, look at these numbers right here. And what do you see? 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, 3 + 3 is 6, 4 + 4 is 7, right? 5 + 5 is 10, 6 + 6 is 12, 7 + 7 is 14. Honestly, when you look at that, what do you see? You see what most people see. Most people say, Tim, 4 + 4 is 8. It's wrong. It's wrong. Because that's how we've been programmed. We've been programmed to find things that look for what's wrong with stuff. Nobody says, you know what? Hey, Tim, you got six of them right up there, man. Good job. You got to look for what's right. You got to look for what you like in people. If you want to pass the baton to somebody, you got to believe in them. You got to believe that they can make it happen. You got to believe that they can get it done. So understand that, look, you've got to be a good finder, not a fault finder. Some people look for fault like there's a reward for it. You know what I don't like? It's like, dude, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm jacked out of my mind, dude. And usually when you're jacked out of your mind, who wants to talk to you? Fault finders, right? Right. My mentor said, don't let people, urinate in your ear. He didn't say the word urinate, but you can understand what I'm saying. He said, don't let people go to the bathroom in your ear. Right. It's like, dude, stop. Like, I don't have time. I'm too busy working. I'm too busy making it happen. So the people that say it can't be done are usually interrupted. Don't interrupt the people that are doing it. Right. So it's like all out massive action. Okay. You're looking for the lookers. You're looking for the people looking for you. If you're developing somebody, right, what are you going to do? Right. You got to look for the good in them. So I love what Albert Einstein said. He said, setting an example is not the main means of influencing others. It's the only means of influencing others. You can't influence people by what you say. You influence people by what you do. Your schedule motivates people. Your commitment motivates people. If I'm like, look, you already know, like, you understand, like, you think I'm going to be at the event? I was at 2 events before I even got involved in Remont as a guest. That's how committed to events I am. So when I'm telling you this, like, people that work with me, if somebody was to, you think somebody's going to tell me, Tim, I can't go to the event. I'm going to be like, where did you come? Like, what? Who are you? Like, what is happening? Because it's like, dude, you got to be committed. You got to make a decision. You got to make a commitment if you want other people to be committed. People are going to do what you do, not what you say, right? People are going to follow your lead. You got to set the pace. Somebody goes, well, Tim, I don't have anybody on my team. Well, then you definitely need to go. You definitely need to start setting the right example. So when you do get people that they know what you're doing, you can show them, hey, I was at the last event, man, before you got started. Like, make the commit. What do you think comes first, the stove or the wood? Hello, right? It's like, what comes first, right? The wood's already there. The stove's there. Then what are you going to do? The stove is there. Well, put the wood in the stove. Well, I'm not putting the wood into the stove until the fire turns on. It's like, what? What are you talking about? You put the wood in the stove and then you light it and then you get the fire going. You put the effort in, right? Before you win. It's a no-brainer. Everybody knows this stuff. It's super simple. Let's talk about leadership, secret number 6. Okay, this is so big, right? What got you there won't keep you there. So basically, as leadership level, your leadership level increases, your responsibilities increase, and your rights decrease. See, most people think like leadership is, oh, I made it, I've arrived, I don't have to work. That is not what leadership is, right? That's not leadership. Leadership is servanthood. Leadership is, I'm going to do the best that I can for you. I'm going to do the best that I can for you. Right? I'm going to do everything that I can do to be the best version of myself I can to help you. But in return, I want you to do the same, meaning be the best version of yourself for me. Back when I was early on in my career, I say, man, I'll take care of you, you take care of me. That doesn't work. I'll take care of me for you, but you've got to take care of you for me. Right? You got to decide right now that we're going to make it happen. I'm going to grow myself. I'm going to always work. I'm going to set the pace, set the tempo. I'm going to lead. I'm going to lead. How do you lead? You lead by example. Think about it. I'm an ugly guy in a skincare business. Come on, I got to lead. You understand what I'm saying? It's like leadership rises, your responsibilities increase, your rights decrease, right? As you rise in leadership, right? That's what happens. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about this. What got you there won't keep you there. Leaders live in a fishbowl. Leaders live in a fishbowl. Your actions are so loud that I can't hear what you say. You understand? I don't need to train anybody. I just need to make a video of what I'm doing all day and say, hey, this is what I'm doing to become wealthy. You want to do the same thing? It's like, let's go. Anybody can do what I'm doing. It's not like you can't tell a story about some tigers in some grass, right? They're rolling around in some grass, there's some water and some volcano. Boom. I mean, anybody can do what I do. Anybody can do it. I just do a lot of it. You can do it too. Like, it's up to you. How many people do you want to talk to a day? It's up to you. So let's talk about what it looks like, right? What got you there won't keep you there. 6 keys to becoming a leader with a servant heart. Okay. Leaders eat last. Okay. Leaders eat last. There's a great book called Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. And it's all about making sure everybody else is taken care of first. And how do you take care of your team? By leading by example. Think about what I'm telling you. How do you motivate your team? By always making it happen. Like, you understand, like, how do you lead? You lead. It just makes sense. Like, leading is doing it first, like doing what other people say can't be done. That's how I lead. That's how I be. Like, it's super simple. So leaders eat last. Leadership is much like tennis, right? Whoever serves the best will win. You're working so hard to show your team that it can be done, right? You're doing it so everybody else can get it done. Leadership is like tennis. Whoever serves the best is going to win, right? It's all about serving people. Right? You can get everything you want if you help enough people get what they want. How do you help people get what they want? You work with them. You grab them. You blow them up. You show them how it's done. Tell, show, try, do, right? I'm going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it. And you're going to try it now. You know how to do it. We've got to make sure we understand, right? Leading. It's catch me if you can attitude, okay? It's super simple. Listen to me carefully, but watch me closer. Like, listen to me carefully, but watch me closer. And you scale down what I do depending on what you want to have, right? It's up to you. But this is a frenzy right now, okay? Service to many, the master teacher said, leads to greatness. How do you serve your team? How do you serve your team? By getting in front of their prospects and helping them build their business for them. Had somebody today tell me, Sim, you know what? I'm really good at selling the products, but I'm not really good at team building. I said, well, if I thought that way, I'd be the same way you are. I'm good at everything. Why? Because it's like, whatever I need to get good at, I'll get good at. Whatever it takes. Doesn't matter. Like, if you're not good at something, get better at it. Like, go for it. Like, attack that weakness. Make it your strength. Learn how to do everything. Because in this business, there's only about 6 things to get good at, right? It's tell the story to a lot of people. And that's pretty much it. Okay. Know the way, go the way, show the way. Know the way, go the way, and show the way. Set the pace, set the tempo. I'm not trying to get people to do, like, look, it's super simple. Here's what I'm doing. I'm going to lead. If you want to follow, let's go. If not, I love what Patton said, is like lead, follow, or get out of my way. Like, we've got to decide right now to be a leader. And leadership is doing the thing, is making it happen in all areas of life, right? It's same, all this stuff is true to life, right? It's all the same thing. We're on that focus group call, and Pepsi was telling a story about how, and I was in tears when she had stories, how her kids looked at her whenever she stepped up and she got out of her comfort zone and did the damn thing. Like, boom, doing it. I love that. That's what it's about. When my daughter told me, Dad, my favorite version of you is when you're running, when you're working. Because for 10 years, I didn't work. I didn't do anything for 10 years. I just sat back and picked up a check. And she said, Dad, when you're working, I love that version. My 18-year-old has never even seen me work until I started to Remon. Like, I'm telling you guys, it's the best. I love what I'm doing. I love working. I love showing people how to become successful. I love helping people change their life financially. But it's checkerboard leadership, right? I move, you move, I move, you move, I move, you move. You don't move, it's stalemate, right? I'm going to keep on moving. Like, I'm going for it. So you just got to set the tone. So you have to ask yourself, are you a toe in or are you all in? Like, if I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to toe in. I'm going to watch the virtual thing. You want to come over to my house and do it? And I'm not bad mouthing you if you're doing that. Like, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. All I'm saying is this: if you can be at the convention, you got to go to the convention. Somebody goes, well, I don't know if I can go. Find a way or make one. That's what I do. I'm telling you, the first event that I went to when I was 17 years old, we literally jumped in a U-Haul and threw a mattress in there, and we drove to the convention in Dallas, like from California. It's crazy. So get out of reverse and get into first, right? Life's like, I love what Einstein said. I wish Einstein should have been on this call. We got to get Einstein on call next Friday. We use too many of his quotes. But he said, life's like riding a bicycle, man. To keep your balance, you got to keep moving forward. So get out of reverse and get into first, right? We got to get everybody in the event. And it starts with you. It starts by you making a non-negotiable, non-debatable commitment. Man, I'm going. With or without you, I'm going. That's the only way you can get people to follow. You can't be like, hey, you jump in the pool, I'll jump in the pool. You want to go? I'll go. Like, dude, I'm going no matter what. I'm not going to miss it. Oh, wow, that's called leadership. I'm following, right? Like, you got to be brave. So how do you be brave? You got to look at the ant philosophy. I'm going to talk about the ant philosophy in a second. First, I'm going to talk about the seasons of life, because ants do different things during different seasons. Jim Rohn talks about this in his book, Seasons of Life. Life and Remon are like the changing seasons. You got to learn how to handle the winners. What's the winners? Oh my goodness. Winners are whenever you're going through challenges, right? You're going through obstacles. The winners in life. When you're going through hard times, when you're going through difficult times, that's the winter time. What do you do in the winter time? You hang on, man. This ain't gonna last forever, right? After expansion comes recession. After recession comes what? Expansion. After day becomes night. After night becomes what? Day. The darkest hour is the hour before dawn. Hang on, baby. We're about to change. I love this, right? So learn to take advantage of the spring. Spring is time to plant, right? Right now in Remon, this is springtime, obviously. You can just see what I'm doing, right? Why am I working so hard? Because it's springtime. It's time to plant. It's time to recruit. It's time to share this business with people, man. We're going to make this company a household name. Taking this thing around the world, 40 countries the next 5 years. A lot of wrinkles about to go away. Bad day to be a wrinkle, baby. So learn how to nourish and protect your crops during the summer. Summertime is what? The busy bugs and the noxious weeds are out to take your garden, right? And if you let them, they'll take it. So what do you do with a busy bug and a noxious weed? You can't turn your head and say, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. Weeds will take your garden, right? You pull the damn weeds out, right? You kill the bugs, right? You got to do it. So it's the same thing with you. And it's about your disciplines. It's about protecting your disciplines, right? When times are starting to become successful and you're starting to grow, what's the biggest killer of people making 100,000 a month? 10,000 a month. 10,000 a month. 20,000 a month. 30,000 a month. When you start making 20, 30,000 a month, guess what? The cash becomes pretty beautiful. You got to keep on keeping on. Going over, under, through, right? So you got to keep on keeping on. Protect your disciplines. Stay focused. And learn how to reap in the fall without complaint. Fall time is harvest time. When you go out to harvest the crops, like, whoa. Why is there no crops? because the ground said, hey, don't give me your need, give me your seed, right? You got to be planting the crops. In the springtime, if you want to harvest come fall, you've got to plant in the spring to harvest in fall. So this goes right into, this is the seasons of life. But guess what? This goes right into the ant philosophy. We're talking about ants now. We talked about geeses earlier. If you joined us late, you missed the geeses, man. I'm telling you what, you missed out. The geeses are making out. We're going to go into the ants. I love the ants. I don't love ants themselves. They're kind of weird, but I love the way they operate, right? I love to pay attention to them. I love to learn from them. First part is what? Ants never quit. If an ant's headed somewhere and you try to stop it, they'll look for another way. Until. That word until will take you to the top. How many books will you read? As many as it takes. How many people will you talk to? As many as it takes. How many people with skin will you find? As many as it takes. That's the key. As many as it takes. First part, ants never quit. Second part is what? Ants think winter all summer. Ants are gathering in the winter, in the middle of the summer. They're starting to gather for the winter. When times are good, it's summertime, baby. What did the Aesop? You guys know the Aesop fable of the grasshopper and the ant. What was the grasshopper doing in the summertime? He was drinking margaritas, right? He was partying it up. What was the ants doing? It's not going to be summer forever. We got to keep gathering food. Super simple. Bottom line is what? Third part, ants think summer all winter. That's a good philosophy, right? During the wintertime, the ants remind themselves, hey, this ain't going to last for long. We'll soon be out of here. And as soon as the first hot day comes out, boom, they're out there. So you got to learn to do what? To keep on keeping on whenever you're going through a winter. Well, that's what I do. December was not, we didn't, every month we've grown in months except for the month of December because of obviously we know why. Santa Claus is the big deal. What do you think I did in January, man? We went out there and sponsored a bunch of brand new people and built a bunch of new lines. Now we have another person about to hit director. Why? Because we realized, guess what? We need more. So in the wintertime, you got to be going all out massive action, right? In the daytime, in the summertime, all the time, let's just go all out and give it everything we got. That's what ants are doing. And guess what the ants do? How much will an ant gather? Think about what I'm saying. During the summertime, how much will an ant gather to prepare for the winter? All they possibly can. What an incredible philosophy. The all you can philosophy. How many wrinkles should you take care of? Like, how many customers should you get? How many people should you talk to about your opportunity? How many people should you help become a manager? How many people should you help become a senior manager? How many people's business should you launch? How many? All that you possibly can. All you got to do is take action. I'm getting fired up. Let's talk about these ants. I love this one, right? Ants are serious. Winston Churchill, he said, you ask, what is our aim? What did he say? He said, I answer in only one word, victory. Victory, he said, victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. Victory, however long or hard the road may be, because without victory, there is no survival. You ask, what is our aim? I answer in only one word. Victory. Victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. Victory, however long or hard the road may be, because without victory, there's no survival. Damn, that's a good one. I wish I would have came up with that one. Okay, now let's talk about this, okay? Let's wrap this thing up. Secret number 8. Here's what I need to help you understand something, okay? If you look in the mirror, you're going to find your biggest problem and your solution. A is 1. This is what number it is in the alphabet. A is 1. T is 20. So ATT is 40. I is 9. T is 20. U is 21. D is what? 4. E is 5. Add all that up. What is it? 100. 100% of everything that you have is going to come down. Everything that you have and everything you want to have and everything you don't have is going to come down to your attitude. Wherever you are in your life right now is going to be summed up by your attitude. Like, you can change your life, but you got to change your mind. Listen to what I'm saying, okay? Hope this comes out good, okay? I don't know how my animation is. I should have ran through it. We got 2 minds, okay? A subconscious and a conscious mind. Our conscious mind is the captain. The subconscious mind is the crew. Follow me on this. The conscious mind says, here, let's go. The subconscious mind is the crew. The crew says, let's go. Let's go. Whatever you want me to do, let's go. So if the conscious mind, the captain, says we can't do it, what does the crew say? Then we won't do it. We can't, we won't. All right, let's go. As soon as you say that, you cut yourself off from success. Your subconscious mind is the crew. Your conscious mind is the captain. The captain gives the crew orders and it finds a way to make it happen. Let me give another example. If the captain says, "How can we?" Crew says, "We'll figure it out." How can we do this? We will find a way. We will make it happen, sir. Like, we will make it happen, ma'am. Whatever it is. The captain says, "How can we?" The crew says, "We'll figure it out." The captain and the crew. Anything you want to have, anything you want to do. Let me break this down a little bit better, right? Find a way to make one. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about this. Okay. Here's how winners think, right? Here's how people, and there's other people who haven't learned how to win yet. I don't call them losers. They're just people who haven't learned how to win yet. Somebody has never learned how to win yet. They say, "I can't." A winner says, "How can I?" Major difference. One cuts off all options to become successful. I can't do that. Winners say what? How can I do that? How can I? How can I do that? Person that hasn't learned how to win yet says it's too hard. A winner says, "How can I get better? How can I get better? How can I learn how to do this? How can I get better?" Person that hasn't learned how to win yet says it doesn't work. A winner says what? How can I make it work? A person that hasn't learned how to win yet says, "I can't," says no one's interested. A winner says, "How can I get people interested?" Person that hasn't learned how to win yet says what? "I can't figure it out." Winner says what? "How can I figure it out? How can I figure it out? How can I get better? How can I make it happen? How can I get the job done?" Those are questions. The subconscious mind is giving the direct orders, right, to your crew. So find a way to make one. Success formula. I talked about this last week. Your volume goal divided by the average volume per planner that comes in equals how many new planners you need for the month. Multiplied by your sign-up ratio whenever you introduce somebody the opportunity when they get started. We'll tell you how many presentations you need divided by the working days equals how many presentations a day you have. There's no mystery. Like, there's no magic in this formula, right? It just comes down to this. If I'm building a new line and I want to do 10,000 a month with them, that's 750 per planner. That means I need 13 new planners. So the average planner is getting started on my team and they're average getting 750 per package. Some are getting 1,500, some are getting 1,000, some are getting 300. Okay. The average one. So if I'm getting 750 on average, I need 13 planners to get 10,000. And if I'm signing up 1 out of 4 people, that means that I need to talk to 53 people. But divide that by 25 days, that's 2 presentations a day. There's no reason why anybody should be doing 2 presentations a day. It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, if you wanted to do more, if you want to do 25,000, 750, that'd be 33 presentations. The numbers don't lie. The thing that you got to remember is numbers don't lie. People lie, but numbers don't. If you do the work, you get the results. End of the story. That when I figured this out, man, it was game over for me because there was nothing to stop me because I wanted it bad. I came from a poor family. My dad left home as a little kid. My mom had no income. We grew up poor. We lived in a car. When I was 14, my mom moved to San Bernardino. I lived on people's couches. So when I got started in network marketing, I was on fire because I saw a way. And they broke it down for me like this, and it just said, "Here it is. You do 5 presentations a day for 25 straight days, right? Or 25 days. That'd be 133 presentations. If 1 of the 4 people get started, that's 33 new people. If the average person gets 750, you got 25,000. How do you do 100,000? You got to develop some speakers, develop some presenters, or develop your skills, right? If you get your 750 number up, right, to maybe everybody's getting started at 1,500, or higher, you don't have to do as much work. But I'm just giving an example. It doesn't matter what the work is. We'll do it. If you want to do 100,000 in volume, divide that by 750. That's 133 planners. That's 533 in a month. That's 20. That's divided by 25 days. That's 21 a day. If you have 10 people presenting to 2 people, boom, that's 100,000. It's super simple. Anybody can do it. So find a way to make one. And this is something that gets me jacked. Harriet Tubman, what'd she do? Find a way to make one. And I love what she said. Listen to what Harriet Tubman said. One of the greatest Americans, right? She was just unbelievable. She had that underground railway where she would go in there and she would go into the South and she would get captured slaves and she would free them and she would bring them to Canada. And this is what she would say when she would recruit somebody. If you hear the dogs, keep going. If you see the torches in the woods, you keep going. If they're shouting after you, you keep going. You don't ever stop. Keep going. Because if you want a taste of freedom, keep going. This is what Harriet Tubman said. If you want a taste of freedom, keep going. This is something that she did. If people change their mind along the route, she would put a gun to their head and say, dead folks tell no tales. Dead folks tell no tales. Meaning, hey, I'm not letting you quit. Now, obviously, we're not going to go to that extreme, right? We're just talking about wrinkles. But I'm just saying, that's leadership. That's somebody that's going to make it happen no matter what. That's somebody that people want to follow. Made a difference. Impacted people's lives. So here's what I'm going to share with you. The moment of decision, right? The moment you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. Make a decision. Make a commitment no matter what. Then guess what? You're going to the event. Over, under, or through. Make a commitment. Once you make a decision, the universe is going to conspire to make it happen. Nothing can stop me. Nothing in my way. Tim, I got this. I got that. Find a way to make one. Find a way to make one. Let's make it happen. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can get in our way. Call to action is what? Have 5 guests on our Saturday overview. Robert and I are doing it. You already know Robert's one of the best at sharing the plans. It's not about can or can't. It's about will or won't. It's not about can or can't. It's about will or won't. Get 5 guests on that overview, right? Create a manager ASAP. Every week, every month, just focus on manager after manager after manager, right? Create one at a time. And obviously tonight, enter all volume before pay period deadline. We're going to go all out massive action to make it happen. I really appreciate everybody's time tonight. I know a lot of you guys are still closing out the month and we've got a lot of great things that are happening, but this moment in time, it's never going to be recreated again. We've got to decide right now that over, under, through, that we're going to get there, that this is our time to do something special. You got to believe that, guess what? If it is to be, it is up to me. Let's make it happen. This is our chance and our time to change so many people's lives. Can you imagine what would happen if you decided to start helping people become successful? You started becoming that leader that says, I'm going to get you there over, under, through. How many lives could we impact? How many lives could we touch? How many people can we help? Think about it. There's nothing like that. When you help somebody become wealthy, there's nothing better than that. It's the best feeling in the world. You change them forever. And because once their mind grows beyond its original capacity, it never shrinks again. Let's go all out massive action. Let's make this month right now that's about to start. Let's kick this thing off strong. Let's go all out massive action. Let's make sure everybody in our team goes manager. Nobody gets left behind. We're getting everybody to the manager. We're getting everybody to senior manager. We're going all out massive action. So with that being said, God bless you guys. Thanks for joining us. Let's make it happen. Let's force results and let's see you guys at the top. Let's make it happen, everybody. We're going to have fun in Vegas, baby.